Hey guys, it's Brigitte Kingsley from Dark Rising, and I wanted to do something for you guys. So me and my new intern, Taylor Wyatt, is right there.
Hi!
We're going to do a video blog every couple of weeks or so, and I'm going to answer some questions about the films. So today, our very first topic is, since it's Halloween, is the creatures in our movies. So we're going to talk about two creatures today. The first one is from Dark Rising 1.
Oh shit!
Now, the Dark Rising 1 creature, which Taylor's going to show you right now, it was actually built in really short order. It was about this time of the season, and we had decided to do this project. So as a last minute thing, we needed to come up with a creature, and we had this extremely talented man called Jim Peacock, and he was our production designer. And so what we did is we went to a Halloween store and we grabbed a bunch of inspiration. So we grabbed things and stuff that we thought the creature could incorporate, or just images and things that would create a certain look. And then Jim Peacock sat there with all of this stuff and started creating what turned into the Killapoth, because that's what we call the creature. It's a Killapoth, real creature. And he designed this entire latex suit for next to nothing, because our budget was next to nothing. And the greatest thing about this creature is that it actually had, from head to toe, an outfit. So in order to move in it was a little bit challenging. But we had an actor called Chadwick Allen, and he did a great job manipulating the outfit. Yeah. Taylor, do you have any questions for me regarding that?
No, I think you answered basically everything I wanted to ask you.
Cool. Now, one other little snippet of information about this monster, and we actually haven't released this information yet, so you guys are the first ones to know. The monster is anatomically correct. So if ever you look at the movie closely enough, you will see that the monster has all of his appendages. So good little tidbit, not obvious one, but look for it. It's there.
Okay. Now let's move on to the wolf from Medium Raw.
Father, Lord in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come.
Okay, so the wolf from Medium Raw. Now this is a whole thing, right? Andrew Simic, which is the writer-creator of both Dark Rising and Medium Raw, one night, probably about, I want to say 10 years ago, had a dream. He woke up in the morning and he drew the wolf in his journal, because he had dreamt of this creature that had, it was all metallic and had a hydraulic jaw. Crazy imaginations. Crazy imagination. And so he proceeded to draw it, and then he went to a few different artists who sketched it out in a three-dimensional way. And then he brought it to Jim Peacock again, and Jim Peacock created this three-dimensional version of the wolf with, I think it was cardboard. It was amazing. So he came on board, and he built the costume exactly the way Andrew had it in his head. So it's one of our favorite pieces. It actually lives in my living room. So when people come over, there is a serial killer propped up in my living room with big claws and hydraulic jaws. So it's right over for dinner.
Oh, that's a very good centerpiece for any dinner.
It is. And the other thing that we also have, if you've checked out Medium Raw, we have the chair that wheels in Grierson, which is a really creepy looking chair, also sits in my living room. it's got ties and stuff, and it looks really weird when people come over, like, I don't know, appraisers, which has happened a couple of weeks ago. It's very creeped out.
Nice. Nice. And what the actors who had to actually wear the costume? Was it really hard to move around in it?
You know what? The wolf costume is actually was made with mobility in mind. So the funny thing is, Andrew actually played the wolf and is credited as one of the people. Then there was Raphael Ludwig, who was on board the project the whole time, who also wore it. The thing with the wolf costume is you have to be quite tall to pull it off, because it is a very cumbersome outfit. And of course, William B. Davis put it on, and that man is incredible. He is, I think late 60s, early 70s, and he manipulated that suit fairly well and ran around killing people quite a bit efficiently.
Strong.
Well, that's great. And is there any more creatures that you want to talk about, Sushi?
Well, we can talk about the toe collector in medium raw.
I'm only gonna take one. Just one.
He's one of my favorite creatures. He was actually the best thing about this. His name is Sean Lawrence. He's an actor in Toronto, and when we first hired him, the thought was that he was this jaundiced man. So we brought him into makeup, and of course, the thing is, he wears no clothing. So we had this wonderful actor who came in, and it was so pleasant as we started to color his entire body from head to toe, all parts of it yellow, and then had to remove it. So he was one of the most fun characters we had. And if you happen to be one of his friends, for Christmas that year, what he did was he took a full-on picture of himself in his full yellow garb, his entire costume, which was, I think, shoes and a Christmas hat, and sent it off to his friends. So he was a great character. I love the toe collector.
Well, that's definitely a Merry Christmas.
It is.
Aren't you a little overdressed?
Aren't you?
And the other thing I was going to mention, in Dark Rising 2, you would see some of the creatures. So we've got the crab monster, and we have the sand slug, which are creatures that were all designed and created by Doug Lentz, who's our VFX supervisor, an amazing artist. He, at some point, we were shooting Dark Rising 2, and there was no crab monster in the scene. It was just a scene where a bunch of people started turning into demons, and all of a sudden, turns to Andrew and goes, "I think we could put a crab in that lake." Andrew's like, "What?" So from that moment on, they're like, "Let's put a crab in that lake." And he just started coming up with demons and stuff to incorporate in Dark Rising 2, which was super fun. And there is an homage to Dark Rising 1, because we do have a scene with the Kilopoths in it. But what it is we took the original costume, and we shot a bunch of different takes and changed up. Like, if you actually look at Dark Rising 2, that scene, you'll see that each Kilopoth is dressed a little bit differently. So he'll have chains either, up on his horns, or he'll be, whipping something, or he'll have different decals on his body. And that was all done by Jim Peacock. And what we did is we cut the feet off the Kilopoth this time, so that the Kilopoth could be much more mobile. So instead of sort of like hopping around, the Kilopoths in Dark Rising 2 have a lot of motion. They can run. So, yeah.
Nice. There's one other thing. In Dark Rising 2, when I believe it was Pluto, played by Noog, was stuck in the jail cell, and there's all those other demons. Where do those guys come from?
We picked them up on the streets in North Bay. There was a couple demons hanging out. We asked them where their friends were. We just, no. No, that was created, we had a makeup artist that came on board, and he had a certain amount of set masks that he used. So, we hired some local actors to come out, and it took an entire day to do the makeup. I think it took a whole 10 hours to get everybody in makeup, and then we shot for 2 hours or something silly like that. And then the main character who actually had lines, we had a bit of an issue because the mouth wasn't. She was a tiny girl, and the mask was so big that it didn't allow her to move her mouth properly. So that was all done digitally after. So if you look at that particular scene, you'll see that her mouth is animated through VFX.
Oh wow, that's a lot of creatures.
It's a lot of stuff. Everybody was everybody was good sports, and they all kind of, were happy to sit around for a good 10 hours. But it was a lot of work. And Dark Rising, Warrior of Worlds, which is the next project we're doing, there will be a lot more demons in it, so a lot more makeup.
Oh wow, can't wait for that. So thank you, Brigitte, for talking about all of the ghouls and monsters in your movies.
No problem.
Is there anything else you want to say?
I just want to wish everybody a happy Halloween, and I hope that you guys enjoy yourselves. And if you have any good ideas for other creatures in the future for Dark Rising, then send them over.
That sounds good. Cool. Happy Halloween, folks. Bye. Hey guys, this is Tiller, and if you like this video, check in the description below for all the links to all of our Facebook pages, and like us, and to all our Twitter pages, and follow us there, so you can keep up to date on all the latest news on the movies that we create and the videos that we post online. And if you want to check more of my stuff, check out Cartoon Corner on my YouTube channel right here. So hope to see you next time for some more behind the scenes with Blackwalk. See ya, and have a happy Halloween!